Hi, this video contains a quick overview of the Event Fabric UI. Here we are seeing a default sample dashboard we have. This is the main area for Event Fabric, where we have the dashboard we are building, and on the left a collapsible panel with all the options. Here we can click to select the current dashboards we are working on. Here we can go to our flow designer, which we will see in detail later. Here we can create a new dashboard, giving it a name and selecting which extensions we want to load. Extensions are like plugins that add extra functionality to Fabric. For example, new sources, new data views, or any other functionality that is custom to some dashboards and we don't want to load for every dashboard. We can also edit our current dashboard. We can edit the title and the extensions we load. We can of course remove the dashboard in case we want to keep it somewhere for later. We can make a backup. We can also handle dashboard sharing. We can share a dashboard publicly. We can share a dashboard only for authenticated users. When sharing a dashboard, we get a URL we can give to users, and we can stop sharing the dashboard, of course. Layouts. Layouts are a way to organize quickly the data views on a dashboard. For example, let's say we want to go back to this one. We can switch widgets and click use layout. Of course, we can also set edit mode, where we can see we have some Chrome around the data views, and we can resize them, and we can also set a title, for example, a new sticker. We can also move freely widgets. This is better if you want a more complex layout, but normally you use our preset layouts. So we set view mode again and we remove all the Chrome. On the general section we have the settings. For a normal account we can only configure username, email and password. And the help section, which take us to our documentation site, and of course logout. Now on the design view we have a left panel also, where we have all the kinds of nodes we can use. We have our source node. Given the extensions I loaded, I have these four kinds of source. Event selected happens when on some widget the user makes click. An event is generated with the information about that click. Event selected with filter, if we want to provide some filter. Event source is to consume events from our backend. And sample event source is the one we are using right now, which provides sample events to play with Event Fabric when you still don't have a real data source, or if you want to experiment with something. We have adapters, which provide a visual programming language to manipulate events. We have an incoming event or more for multiple sources, and then we apply some operation and we have an outgoing event which may have some extra fields, some field remove, some calculations. We have filters where we can say filter which events go through the filter. For example, in this case we want to filter all the events that on the field name has the value electronics. So events come in, and if it contains name electronics, then they won't come out. This is to filter electronics from the bar chart. We have data views, which are ways to display events in a visual way. We can see in this dashboard we have 4 data views. We provide by default more than 30 data views, and we can add extra ones using extensions. We also have the state loader. This is a node that allows us to load information at the beginning when the dashboard is loading, so we can populate the dashboard on load with initial data. For example, we can load the last 50 events from a data stream, so the dashboard doesn't start empty. In this case, we are using our sample state loader, but depending on the extensions you load, for example, now we have event history, which is to load the recent events from a stream from the Event Fabric backend. Sample event history, the one we're using, which is used also to play with Event Fabric when you still don't have events, and store query, which is a way to query the backend for a specific set of events, which is a more advanced topic. We also have the timer node, which is used to do things in time intervals. By default, we have group by time, which allows to group events and emit the resulting grouping every, for example, 5 seconds. Throttle, which will emit only the last event every time interval. For example, only emit one event every 5 seconds when a source of events generates a lot of events. Ticker, which generates a tick event in a configurable time interval. And ticker JSON, which is a more advanced ticker that allows to emit a data structure at a time interval. Hub is just an organization node where we can connect multiple incoming nodes, and it will emit the event to all outgoing nodes. And endpoint, which is a way to send events to external systems. Here we will see now the block programming language. On the left we have sections, for example, control blocks, logic blocks, blocks related to events, math, text, formatting, parsing of text format and generic text blocks, list manipulation, color manipulation, access to variables. We also provide an advanced section. For example, we can show notifications or store events from multiple nodes and share the data between them. We also provide templates for tasks that we commonly do, so we don't want to have to build these complex blocks every time. For example, if we want to set the color to green if the value is below 30 and yellow if below 60 and otherwise red with a white label, then we can use this template. We can also use the filter template and also provide for each widget that is registered templates with the required fields and the optional fields, so you don't have to read the documentation or do trial and error to see what data a given data view expects. You can just see the templates. And also we provide templates for endpoints and queries. Finally, every node can be configured by right-clicking on the node, selecting the settings icon. And for example, if I go to settings on an adapter, I will get this, which is the setting for that. And for example, for the state loader, we can configure here. We can also, for example, replay the state loader to see if it's replaying correctly. In this case, it generated 50 new events. We can click on the green bubble here and see the latest events. And we also, for example, can click on the eye to view which widget, which data view is associated with this node. And for example, if I connect an event to a data view that has a format that the data view doesn't understand, the data view will generate an error and will tell us the reason for the error and which event generated that error. So we can safely play with widgets, and they will give us feedback if you are sending the correct data or not. This was an overview of all the Event Fabric UI, the main things. In an upcoming video, I will build this dashboard from scratch. Thank you and bye.